Good evening and welcome to Sunday Politics on Trust TV, your trusted platform for insightful analysis on politics, policy and governance. I am Hamza Idris. Tonight we delve into what has now become a legislative ritual in Nigeria. Constitutional amendments often embarked upon by the two chambers of the National Assembly. Usually a democratic process aimed at addressing some loopholes in the nation's constitution in line with existing realities. The outcome of such legislative actions will fail to see the light of the day if two-thirds of the state houses of assembly do not endorse it to become a law. Issues such as state creation, power rotation, electoral and other important state matters often get legislative attention during constitutional amendments that usually consume billions of taxpayers' money yearly without producing the desired results. On Sunday Politics tonight, we interrogate the necessity of this yearly legislative process, its impact on governance, and the burning issues currently dominating the conversation. And joining us to navigate the issues around this legislative function is a lawyer and public commentator, Buhari Yusuf. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, good evening, viewers.
We're happy having you. But before we delve into the conversation, let's take a look at some topical issues in the polity. The presidential candidate of the new Nigeria People's Party during the 2023 election, Rabiu Kwankwaso, at the weekend met with former President Olusegun Obasanjo in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Kwankwaso met with Obasanjo at his Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library residence in Abeokuta, alongside former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke. The former Kano governor disclosed this in a post on his X handle, formerly Twitter. Kwankwaso explained that during the courtesy visit, there were deliberations on significant national issues, including the future of politics and governance in Nigeria, which defined their conversation. And back here in Abuja, more than 200 suspects who were linked with terrorism activities in different parts of the country have been convicted by the Federal High Court in the country after they were found guilty of the offenses. Daily Trust reports that some of the suspects, according to the National Counter-Terrorism Center in the Office of the National Security Advisor, were sentenced to death, life imprisonment, and 20 to 70 years, depending on the gravity of their offenses. Our correspondent reports that the Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation, under the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, in collaboration with Office of the National Security Advisor, oversaw their trials. Hundreds of suspects were being tried by 5 Federal High Court judges in phases at Kainji Detention Facility over their involvement in the heinous crimes, with over 500 convictions secured in the past. And we now take a short break. When we return, the conversation commences. Don't go away. Viewers, once again, welcome to Sunday Politics on Trust TV. Barrister Buhari Yusuf, once again, welcome to our studio.
Welcome, viewers.
Almost every day, new issues. You can see the two tidbits I mentioned. Yes. First, Kwankwaso, yes, in Abeokuta. Was that surprising to you, Kwankwaso traveling to Abeokuta at this point in time?
Well, I think it's the normal political door knocking.
Okay, door knocking.
Yes, to take sample of opinions, particularly opinion of elders, those that have had the opportunity to preside over the destiny, the administration of this country. You need opinion leaders that are still relevant in politics to really galvanize support for you, for any office that you will wish to contest to. And sometimes you just want to test water. You know, politicians, they never leave chance to anything.
Yeah,
they are always upbeat and trying to see whether the temperament is in, is reflecting their ambition, and so it's a good development anyway. Particularly the gentleman Davis State is an experienced politician and experienced a person who appears to be a stabilizing force in Nigerian politics. You can never take away one thing in Obasanjo, his Nigerianness. So he's a rallying point, and he will remain a rallying point, I think.
He knocks almost everyone, but you see those he knocked going to him.
Yes, because the consistency in him is about his political relevance. And therefore, they keep on gravitating around him to see whether he might not be a political heavyweight, but
in terms of
getting
maybe
around him,
bringing
yes,
votes.
but he has relevance. In politics, you require those people that will come out and say something. And then the face of politics changes over a new look. So that is the reason. We used to have Adamu Chiroma, who I want to say he could not win a council election, but he was a relevant politician. He could, by his opinion, endorse your candidature and you win a gubernatorial election. But on his own, he might be, by personal contest, a political liability. But then he has this, political relevance around him, and a well-respected state person, and therefore people listen to him.
I was following the conversation on the social platforms. Some are trying to say, most likely, Kwankwaso might go the way of Donald Duck, the person who accompanied him, or is it they took themselves together? Because on equal measure, Donald Duck is also seen as a shrewd politician. Also, he contested for the presidency.
Yes, but a little bit politically comatose for some times. And Kwankwaso is very active, and behind him is this humongous amount of support base, particularly from the Northwest. And he has this usual political rhetorics that is capable of galvanizing people around him. He's a fanciful politician. So I think they should have this kind. But the contestation 2007 will introduce a lot of political dramas. And I think we are beginning to get introduced to a few.
Is it not too early? Because this administration is barely 18 months, right? But you can see the fireworks left, right, and center. People have started saying power must come back to the North, which I'm sure we will discuss in the course of the Constitution amendment and all that. But are these politicians not hitting up the polity and then forgetting about existential problem, hunger?
Don't forget, Kwankwaso is not holding any political office, so he's taking advantage of the political restiveness to remain relevant. To leverage on, and he doesn't have any work other than politicking, and that's exactly what he does or what he is doing. The political restiveness elicits this kind of a desperate approach to political contestation. The country appears to be in this situation that the quest for emergence of new leadership is becoming acutely sought for.
Okay, new leadership. But finally on this, before we move to the other tidbits so that we can move to our main topic of discussion, there are allegations that Kwankwaso is more or less a spoiler, going by the role he played. Of course, over 1 million votes in Kano, but if you check, even within the North, how many votes did he garner? And people are saying, assuming he did not spoil the show for Atiku. Atiku will have been the president by now. Do you believe in that?
You see, we have to understand that Kwankwaso is ideologically notorious.
Okay.
He's holding on to his political belief. Whether he wins or he loses, the idea is to remain afloat. And then sometimes he provides this negotiating platform for bigger parties to come on board. But I think he is more into maintaining his ideological purity, if you want to put it that way, than sinking political. Because after his senatorial seat, his senatorial period, he has not taken any appointment with any government.
He became a kingmaker.
He became a kingmaker.
But maybe this lady
and
will change by 2027.
He will want to maintain his tough Kano and the Kano Jigawa and Katsina.
Part of Bauchi.
Yes.
All right, thank you. The other tidbit is about the sentencing of, they say, bandits, terrorists, or whatever. You know, the words used to describe these criminals. We have quite a number of them. Is it also surprising, because the number is huge, over 200, many of them to life sentence, and then some up to 70 years. So if somebody is 10-year-old, of course, none should be that by virtue of the provisions of our law. You are a lawyer. You anticipated this?
Yeah, but let me give this distinction. We have to appreciate the difference between a terrorist and a bandit. There are two different negative elements in our society. A bandit is never a terrorist. A terrorist is terrorism is a definition from a global consensus, jurisprudential global consensus. But then there are elements to the offense of terrorism. Declaration of certain geography of a given state as yours, as against the sovereign order. Hosting flag, not the hosting flag of this protester. Please, people should understand. And then coming up with state apparatus that are known to be domiciled in only sovereign state. So declaration of this amount to terrorism. On the other hand, bandits are mere local thieves, armed robbers, kidnappers.
But they kill, but you can see, and I remember Buhari also classified them, or during Buhari's government, the so-called bandits along the northwest axis, declared terrorists.
If you ask me, I might give you an example of who are bandits. They are the people in Zamfara, these people in Katsina, and what have you. These are bandits.
The ragtags.
Yes, but when you are talking about terrorists, you are talking about people in the family of Boko Haram, the IPOB.
But somebody, and I'm sure when we open the line, somebody will question this classification, because IPOB, okay, because there is insurrection tendency in what they are doing?
No, because at a time before he was arrested, he declared certain part of this country as his own, giving it a name that was removed after 3 years war. Yes. So, like I told you, any attempt to appropriate certain geography of a sovereign state to yourself amount to terrorism. That's the simple definition.
Well, I hope we get time one day to discuss this more elaborate way. But coming, as I ask, as a lawyer, now 70 years, and then the declaring some of them that condemned criminals, right? Because if somebody is asked to spend his life in custody, or he will be executed, I don't know, we didn't see the detailed judgment, so I don't want to preempt or to assume. What does this portray Nigeria? Just yesterday I saw, I think, Amnesty and other right groups talking about the over 50 people that were executed in Saudi Arabia for drug-related offenses. Can we say countries must take their fate in their hands?
There are a lot of states in state of America that still have capital punishment.
In the US?
Yeah, in the US. So it's a domestic requirement. And don't forget, these people that were sentenced today in the morning, I think, there was a trial that culminated into conviction. Therefore, all our non-corpus juris requirements were deployed. And therefore, you can only question the veracity of that judgment by way of going to appeal in the court.
Okay.
Or any opportunity given to you after, or given to the convict after. But for now, that is the position of the law, and it stands that way. And as a lawyer, I cannot question it.
Thank you very much, and we hope that what happened will serve as deterrent.
But
we hope Nigeria needs now is
so.
actually peace. Now back to the topic of discussion today. Constitution amendment. Let me start with this simple question. Is it the, magic or silver bullet that will address the teething problems afflicting Nigeria? Because almost since the return of the Fourth Republic, almost every session of the National Assembly, you have Constitution Amendment Committee in the House, headed by the Deputy Speaker, and in the Senate, headed by the Deputy Senate President. Can we say it's a silver bullet for Nigeria to get it right?
Well, having said this, that constitution has never been a silver bullet to grow a nation, to grow a country. No, because constitution is a mere legal and moral guide to a nation, but it doesn't provide a silver bullet for the purposes of growing a society.
It's not an end in itself.
It is not, because there are countries that do not even have written constitution, and they are part of this world that we aspire to copy.
Like
Let
the
me
UK,
give you three.
okay.
Like the UK, New Zealand, and Canada. They don't have written constitution. Therefore, constitution should not be the reason why they develop. But now, you raise a very fundamental issue: the ritual, the mantra of changing the amendment of the Constitution. Let me give a little context or a background. American Constitution was drafted 1787. It's supposed to be drafted by 74 people, nominated, not elected. I want that word to be underlined, nominated. At the end of it all, it was drafted by 55 people from 13 states. Among the people that drafted the Constitution, there was no representation from the labor, from the blacks, from Jew, from women, from other strata of the society. It's just few nominated people. And in almost 300 years, American Constitution is amended 27 times. Of the 27 times the American Constitution was or is amended, 10 sections of it, the 10 of the amendments is about Bill of Rights. Conversely, Nigerian Constitution, the present Constitution, that has been, that is on for the past 25 years, has been amended 94 times in 25 years.
94 times?
94 times. In 25 years. One American Constitution in 300 years has been amended 27 times, with 10 built around the Bill of Rights. So you can see the absurdity. Whether our own exercise is taking cognizance of certain facts, historical, political, and economic. But don't forget, Constitution is not a literary work with purity of text and texture. It's just a mere guide. It's a collection of do's and don'ts that would guide a country, but it's less than attitudinal change.
But why are we, I mean, fixated with amending it? Is it that the elite use that tool as distraction?
Distraction, diversion, and then a conduit pipe to get in some money, mostly a humongous amount of money. Because the ritual, if I would borrow from you, of constitutional amendment shouldn't be a celebrative process. It goes seamlessly. It doesn't have to attract.
Popularize it.
No, it doesn't. Because the components that are involved, that are entrusted with that work, are known. And they know their statutory functions. But it is only in Nigeria because of what? It provides us with the normal political convenience to escape scrutiny and interrogation. And you know, Nigerian politicians are expert in that field.
The figure you mentioned, nearly 100 in 25 years. Some citizens might not be aware of this. Maybe because there are fundamental issues that ought to have been amended in the Constitution, which, you know, normally becomes maybe a tool that the politicians, especially in the National Assembly, will just use to say, okay, creation of state or things like that.
But you see, American society, they believe that growth is organic, is a slow-moving process, because so that you will take internal contradictions that have been thrown up by the process and you assemble them and take care of them, and then you move. But the way we move in Nigeria, the fallacy, you know, guide us, and then we take the show more than the substance of it. Otherwise, the process would have been a little bit slower As we pick one, we move. As we pick one, we move. But then, look at the speed. And that was why I brought this, for you to appreciate the approach America, sane society, a very sane society with sanity. They took 300 years
to do it.
To amend 27 times. And I told you 10 of the amendments are within the Bill of Rights.
Now, in November, I think, yes, former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Emeka Anyako, said no leader can fix Nigeria with the 1999 Constitution. Do you agree with him? He cited divisiveness, pluralism, underperforming economy, and insecurity as things that cannot be addressed using the 1999 Constitution. These are a man in his own right.
Yes, no, in his own understanding. Unfortunately or fortunately, I saw him when he was there, and he was one of the foremost constitutional lawyers, SAN. And he didn't guide them. Among them, I saw Sheikh Hussaini, one senator from Kaduna. That you can forgive him because he not a lawyer, so he not appreciate.
But it's a human rights act.
Human rights is an occupation in Nigeria. It's not a moral code of meant to guide.
Okay.
It shouldn't be. But in Nigeria, it's an occupation. In America, you don't find anybody going around tagging himself an activist. You don't have. In any serious society, you don't have. It's just a pastime. Now, they got a very good opportunity to put the president through to appreciate the situation the country finds itself. They didn't take that opportunity. They wasted time talking to him about impossibility. Because you cannot replace Nigerian constitution. Just go in.
How do you mean? It cannot be replaced?
It cannot be replaced. But you can empty the constitution by way of amendment. I want to be understood. You can empty its entire content, but by what? By means of amendment. But you cannot replace Nigerian constitution. Section 1, Section 3 of the Constitution, with the family reading of Section 9 of the Constitution, talks about amendment, particularly Section 9 of the Constitution. There is no place in Nigerian law, in Nigerian Constitution, where a provision is provided for replacement of this Constitution.
Throw this one away.
You cannot. And that was the reason why even the president couldn't answer in affirmative. Because, but I want to believe that they were seeking for relevance. Otherwise, they could have been guided by SAN Ezekome that in fact, no, we can come by amendment, but we cannot empty this. And the question is this, which you raised in your question. What is wrong with this constitution? This is about the most representative constitution. You might ask me how?
Go ahead.
87% of content reading of this present constitution is a content of 1979 constitution, which had the blessing of Constitutional Drafting Committee and Constituent Assembly. 230 people that drafted 1979 constitution, with the contribution from the military of 20 people and so few experts, 7 from the Constitutional Drafting Committee. Tell me.
Can referendum do the magic now? Okay, can referendum? Assuming we have a referendum.
You don't have it. We don't have it in our constitution.
Even the referendum?
Even the referendum that would produce a constitution, we don't have. The only referendum we have in our constitution is about recall. A recall of a legislator. That's why the whole referendum appears in
our legislators.
And I would like to say something. So, 1979 Constitution is the most representative, and then added to it is this 1999 Constitution. Because, like I said, 1999 Constitution is about 87% content reading of this our Constitution. Even the 1963 Constitution and other subsequent Constitution have not gotten the textual purity of the 1999 Constitution.
Then why are people worried? Especially, you can see some believe that the advocates of the Constitution amendment, they want to find a way of maybe changing some provisions. I'm not a lawyer, to now give more traction to regional agitators, maybe some who want to move to Biafra.
Fantastic. that is where they are headed to. Bahaushe na cewa an zo wurin. So that's where the crisis is. And it's all about fiscal, monetary policy issues. That some people feel federalism, they need the federating units right to benefit from the state apparatus, the state resources and what have you. That is the mistake. And just examine, interrogate most of those agitators of new constitution. The issue is not beyond resource control, beyond how many states are going to be added to us, and that is it. It's not talking about the functionality of our legal instrument. It's not talking about the functionality of our economic policies and philosophies. No. It's just talking about distribution of the wealth so that it will not be tilted towards those agitators. And that is the reason why, because it's not a pragmatic approach, it's just, it happens in one section of the country.
I don't want to deviate from the substance of our conversation, but just to go somewhere a bit, look at the, the Labour leader, right, yes. in UK, yes. Kemi, detaching herself from Nigeria, yes. for instance. Yes. Can we say these are some of the subtle moves by regional agitators to see how the constitution can be undermined?
Well, let me, because I read a lot about what she said and a lot of the reaction of some people. We shouldn't divorce her from her background. Her father was a Yoruba irredentist, ethnic champion.
Allegedly?
Yes, not allegedly. No, he has been writing. He's a supporter of Nation of Yorubas. Yeah, a Nation of Yoruba or Yoruba Nation, Yoruba Nation. So this is the ambience, the background she grew up. And then, typical of a person belonging to Conservative Party, they are always into this hard push when it comes to identity politics. It's just a throwback on this concept of identity politics. And if you notice, she has not said anything because all her points are points that you cannot be able to hold on to. She was talking about Boko Haram. Unknown to her, political turmoil that gave birth to the military administration started in the Yoruba area she's talking about. The Operation Wete, the destruction of the First Republic was started from that section. She has forgotten the OPC. And OPC, they are somehow related with Boko Haram because they are all ethnic agitation to ensuring their own people with their own ideology that does not embrace inclusivity. So when she was talking about that, and I said to myself, she shouldn't be, because this is a country where every part of it is guilty of one offense or the other. The moment you mention Boko Haram, if you are from the southeast, somebody might cite you the IPOP. If you are from the southwest, somebody will cite before your eyes OPC.
So it's like charcoal calling.
Yes.
Pot.
Yes. So I was shocked when he was talking about Boko Haram, and I said to her, she might have a poor understanding of history. Otherwise, somebody would have called and said, hey, hold it. The destruction of the First Republic started from that your area that you think they are Puritans.
Okay, now, of course, I made reference to Labour Party instead of Conservative Party. Yes,
yeah.
But then coming back home, recently, you know.
But I think by accident,
yes.
if she would be, by accident of history, if she would be Prime Minister of Britain, there will be serious diplomatic crisis. Because with this her persona, with this her conviction, she might begin to think of banning people from, just like Trump did, banning people from the north, or possibly banning Muslims from going to UK. But I know they have a strong system that will guide her and will not allow her to go that extreme.
Okay, we hope so. Now, they said part of the major problems with the Nigerian constitution, the 1999, is that some nationalities ethnic nationalities or whatever have not been protected the way it is. And as we speak, there are more than 10 clamor for state creation. Some of the bills have passed second reading in the National Assembly. Do you think that will be the magic wand, maybe, to now stabilize the 1999 Constitution?
No, human being by nature has in him this sense of agitation. Even in America, where there are a lot of Supreme Court judgment that nobody will have the right to yank in any part of America and establish, but still people agitate.
Because it's their fundamental right.
Because it's their fundamental right. But don't also forget, that is the problem of identity politics. Particularly when you push in before your eyes political non-entities who do not have the required political dexterity to give a coherent leadership. They normally fall back to their ethnic cocoons. And I want to say something, Hamza. The election of Abiola defeating Tofa in Kano and in Gandun Albasu destroyed every idea of either identity politics or rotational politics. Then the election of Obasanjo, election of Jonathan reinforces that conviction in Nigeria, that Nigerians have the capacity to elect a person from anywhere, either minority or majority, so long as they are okay with his political manifesto and what have you. Jonathan, his local government, his state is no more than 3 local governments in Kano, or even 2 local governments, but he was Nigerian president, he was elected. He defeated some people from the north. So the whole idea of this rotational zoning, something that is exacerbating our political thermometer, I think is uncalled for.
But then who is actually playing the spoiler card, or I mean to pushing this narrative that certain part of the country has been cheated and things like that, it's our turn and all that?
No, I mean it's all the normal political statements that will resonate very well with your base. We just experienced the election in America. The normal language used by Trump resonated with the Anglican the evangelical community in US, the conservative. So he has to be deploying that kind of acerbic and very dangerous philosophies to get what? To go down to his base. So it is the same thing. Most of these people, they are saying something so that the appeal to their zones will be highlighted. But they know we are far beyond that. And again, anytime you are throwing up this ethnic and what have you, you are destroying the very basis of liberal democracy. And then you are destroying democracy. When you begin to say election should be, the candidature to an election should be compartmentalized along certain ethnic group. So the whole idea of democracy, multiple offer for choice, and you are right to choose, they are destroyed.
Serious issue. Okay, Barrister Buhari Yusuf, we will open the telephone line now so that our viewers will ask some questions or they give some clarity to some of the sensitive issues. Of course, viewers, it is now time for you to call in using the telephone number displayed on your screen, but please don't use uncouth language. Go straight to the point and see how we can resolve the conundrum around the 1999 Constitution, even though the barrister here in the studio said the Constitution doesn't have any problem. We await your call. Of course, we have the first one. Hello, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm fine. You're speaking to Shamaki from the Nasarawa State.
Okay, Shamaki, your voice changed today. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Hamza Idris.
Yes, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Barrister Buhari Yusuf, once again. Good evening, too.
Good evening, my brother.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, in fact, the issue of governance deficit, there is a lot of problem and challenges. Nigeria is losing every blessing day. has gone far. Industry, companies, small-scale business have shut down. And this is a setback to Nigerians entirely. So, to me, this policy is not even going the right way. Because instead of moving forward, Nigeria are going backward.
Can we say those problems have to do with the 1999 Constitution? Or do you think some of the issues you mentioned, they have the roots of their problem to the 1999 Constitution?
Yes, I concur with that. But the problem is that can that be done? We don't want in a situation we can only hear it, and tomorrow the matter will just put on the carpet. But I'm concur with that.
All right, Shamaki. Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right. I wanted to ask, Barrister, people believe that the 1999 Constitution did not protect local government areas very well. And that is why, despite the recent Supreme Court judgment, you can see governors are still, exerting a lot of influence. But before you answer this question,
yes,
there's another caller on the line. Hello, welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Who is on the line?
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. You are welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yes.
Barrister, good evening.
Yes.
How are you, my friend?
I'm fine.
From where are you calling from and your name?
Silas from Kaduna.
Okay, Silas, welcome to the program. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, these are very sensitive issues being discussed. Well done.
Thank you.
What I wanted to just chip in is to say, for my take actually, I think the Constitution is not really a problem, because I want to believe for it to be written, it has been written for the progress of the nation.
Yes.
Yeah, but the people interpreting the Constitution, I think this is where the major challenge is lying.
Okay.
So if only the interpreters of the Constitution will interpret it with a growth mindset for the nation, I think the case is done.
All right.
So interpreting it with the selfish mindset is where the problem lies.
Thank you. Meaning you're on the same page with Barrister Buhari Yusuf. Thank you very much for calling.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So maybe you say a word or two on what Silas said.
Yes,
that the interpreters are the problem. Then you now answer the question in relation to the local government.
He's talking about attitude. And of course, positive attitude move a nation, develop and grow a nation, not a constitution. Constitution is a written document. I always pose this question. As a Muslim, how much of compliance do I give to my book, the Quran? And to a Christian, how much compliance has he given to the Bible? We have traffic laws. How much compliance have we given to them? So it's not about the book. It's not about the laws written in the paper.
So we are fixated maybe with resource control.
Yes.
Could that be correct? People are just talking about resource control.
Yes, and the rest and
but
regional autonomy.
Why is the North scared? This is an allegation.
No, the North is not anyway scared. The North is pragmatic in its approach. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm thinking that the resistance to the amendment of the Constitution, just like the resistance to, the tax reform bill, the latest elephant in the room.
Again, the North is pragmatic even in that area. Look at the way those that resisted it or those that were against it, they are falling on their backs. The South legislators say they want time to read it again. The Southeast legislators also are calling for time to reconsider it. When the North was far ahead, Northern legislators or Northern traditional rulers or the governors were far ahead before them.
So you think there is nothing like fair in that?
No, I'm not talking about even the fairness. People are saying that, can we interrogate this? Because there are issues that are not quite clear. Nobody is saying that the 4 bills, executive bills that was presented by the president should be sent away, should be thrown out. No, but can we interrogate them?
All right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, we have another caller, Barrister. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. Hello, welcome to the program.
Hello?
Hello, who is on the line?
Hello?
We are with you. Hello, who is on the line?
Yes.
Yes, reduce the volume of your TV set.
Abuja.
Okay, what is the name?
I'm Sunday, baby.
Okay, Sunday, welcome to the program. We are happy having you. Okay.
Thank you. I believe the Constitution, that is 1999 Constitution, that there is the problem with it is there is an urgent need for amendment.
Which side of the Constitution? Which area do you think should be
amended? In the side of political participation. You can look at what is happening right now in the National Assembly. People cross-carpeting one political party to another. And there is no specific in the Constitution of the 1999. Except maybe the party constitution that says whoever that comes from another political party, his seat can be declared vacant.
Okay, Sunday.
Let me say something. It's very important.
Okay, Buhari wants to tell you something. Okay.
You see again. You now see what I've been talking about. Section 109 categorically is self-imposing section. You don't need any court declaration. Once you do what? You come from your party to another party, and your party does not have central division. That render it incapable of handling itself. Your seat is automatically.
But you can see how
now it's not the fault of the Constitution.
How Nigerians accordingly
yes, but it's not the fault of the Constitution.
Interpreting that.
Yes,
because you can now see they will say that okay, if it is Labour Party, they will say we have the Abore and the other faction. If it is NPP, you now say you have the Concoso and all that. And the same thing. Look at it, Barrister. I want to make reference to the local government. You know, after the Supreme Court judgment now, which said that monies meant for local government should go straight to them.
Yes.
Now we have two contradictory laws, enacted by state assemblies. Yes. For instance, in Anambra, the state assembly enacted a fresh law, which now empowers the state government to receive all the monies meant for the local government. This is in a classical approach
to that inconsistency is a void law.
Yes, because then what about the one in Nasarawa state? Of course, in Nasarawa they enacted their own that the local government should have their own.
I quoted that section, and I want to repeat it. Section 1, subsection 3. Any law that is inconsistent with the Constitution to that extent, to the extent of a lack of compliance, becomes void. So I'm coming. Typical Nigerian politician is devious in his approach to almost everything. He's not looking for how to encourage the system to work. He's always looking for how to undermine the system to his own advantage. And that was why one of the callers talked about attitude. And then we have to grow institutions, strong institutions that will navigate us. Look at America with a very strong institution.
They can afford the Constitution.
Yes,
it's just
very
handy.
small. Yes, the Americans can afford to elect an insane, a madman, as an American president, and the system will guide him. But however good you are, Nigerian politicians will manipulate the system. That section of the Constitution I just cited is very, very clear in its interpretation. You don't require anybody to interpret.
Then now who will save the Constitution? Who will make it look sacred in true sense?
Now there are judicial pronouncements. That if you notice, this local government position that the Supreme Court rely on are all in our Constitution.
But sadly, Barrister, up to now, the local government, they are yet to start collecting the money. They are yet to start getting it.
Again.
Simply because of technicalities.
Again, the system just last week, the Attorney General of the Federation came up and said, look, anybody you found in default of this order would have himself to blame.
But do we need to go that far?
Yes, we need to, because you are dealing with a human being.
All right, let me take maybe most likely the last caller on the program. Hello, welcome to the program.
Hello, how are you?
We are fine here. What is the name and you are calling from where?
My name is Daladi.
Okay, from where, Daladi?
From Kefi, National State.
Okay, you are welcome to the program. What is your take? Yes.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, we are with you.
Yeah, good evening, Hamza.
Yes, good evening, Aladi. Welcome.
Thank you very
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, yes, briefly.
The issues like the barrister is trying to emphasize and other callers is that our attitude generally undermines whatever is written in the books. We are not being honest to ourselves, we are not being sincere to ourselves. Each time we want to tweet or bend issues to favor selfish interests, and that will not grow a nation. Exactly. We must grow as a nation. We must be able to be fair to ourselves and to be fair to everybody. Give what is due to whoever and take what is due to you alone. The recent tax reform bills that we have spoken about in this country had a lot of semantics that were not explicitly defined. And when the premiums raise issues about them, they are doing all names and all kind of things, which is very unfair. When somebody says, I'm not comfortable with what I'm seeing, you can call it fear like you are trying to make the minister agree with you. Yes, I'm afraid because something got happening. So you listen to me and I respect you, and if you have any education that you need to give me, let me see your point of view. So now let me do that. What I'm seeing in the document is not comfortable, is not acceptable to me. I want to post it for me to accept it. That is not fair.
All right, finally from you. Yes. Summarize the lady. We are running short of time. Yes, summarize in just a second or two. Yeah, thank you. All right. You had it. It's all about attitude. But the last question, because we have less than 1 minute to round up the program. Yes. Why is Nigeria's president so powerful? They say he's more powerful than the United States
Nigerian president is not powerful.
Then where did he exude that aura of power around his office?
When there are a lot of check and balances. It's just like when somebody declared, I think the secretary to the government, that there will not be vacancy.
Yes.
Most probably because he doesn't understand the constitution. There are operation of the law. There will be election. And there must be contestant to that election. There are so many, opportunities that create vacancy in every office in Nigeria. So it's the attitude of psychopathic politics that we play in Nigeria that is given to all these things. Honestly, there are check and balances against any executive person elected in Nigeria. But do we deploy them? That's where the issue of attitude. We refuse to build on our moral, precepts, our normatives. We just think that the system would galvanize us. Don't forget, at the beginning of this program, we've discussed, we brought 3 countries that don't even have written constitutions. And they are doing fantastically well because the society is built on trust and morality.
And that is what we should have.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Barrister Buhari Yusuf. I wish we have more time to ask more questions and to also listen to our thousands, if not millions of viewers. But thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
And that wraps it up, the Sunday Politics tonight. We hope you enjoyed the conversation, and we hope you join us next week for another interesting and topical issue to discuss. We thank you for being with us. Bye-bye for now. I'm Hamza Idris.